Hey Farm Share families, we are so excited to bring you our first Farm Share of the 2022 season. A lot of anxiety for me personally, like coming into the season, and it's been a cold spring, so it's like, are things going to finally mature and ripen? And here we are with an amazing harvest. I'm so excited. I try to eat everything that you guys are eating, and serve it to my family. So we've been enjoying some of this food this week, and it's been amazing. I will start out with my favorite this week are these heads of romaine. They are beautiful, just huge, thick, crisp, and sweet romaine heads. I've been using these for wraps. So any dinner goes in a wrap. I have leftover sugar fried pulled pork, goes in a wrap. Anyway, so that's, you get one head of green romaine and one head of purple. Look at these are huge. They're just big and so beautiful. Just really prime right now. So the next thing is our tote of mixed greens. So this is really probably Lucky Dog Farms' #1 product. So it has our lettuce in it. It has rainbow Swiss chard. It also has 2 different types of spinach. One also has this rainbow red stem like some of the Swiss chard. It has Mizuna, which is an Asian green. Purple frilly mustard is in here. We've got some kale and arugula. So a little bit of claytonia. So lots of different greens in here. And you always see this kind of will change throughout the season as different spring and summer greens become available. And some of them are more heat tolerant and some less, so your spinach will be just an early spring crop. When you get your Farm Share, I always try to mix the greens so that way they can be used in different manners. So in general, I wouldn't give you a mixed green and a lettuce that both need to be used almost as a salad green. So I'll try to do like a spinach or a kale along with the lettuce on the side, especially in the spring when it's really the season of greens. That way it gives you a variety. You can freeze the kale or the spinach. You can use it to saute, cook down smoothies, soups, cut it up and put it into anything. So you've got some options with your greens, each week is the way you eat them. Both of these are probably best fresh. Like I said, the romaine is perfect for wraps right now. It's so yummy. We then have a bag of our microgreens. I'll get this a little closer. So you have purple stem microgreens, pink stemmed radish. Pink and purple are both radish. You have the 2-leaf here is sunflower shoots. That's got a nice nutty flavor. You got the little bitty guys in here are broccoli. And then you also have the sugar snap pea tendrils, and they're kind of cool, tenderly. And these are going to be sweet, just like a sugar snap pea. Here's a little broccoli, so a little bitty guy, lots of flavors. So I always like to say micro insights, massive in nutrition. Your microgreens can go on your salad, they can go on top of your wraps, they can go on top of the soup, sandwich, BLT, tacos. On a fried egg is one of my probably most often on avocado toast. So yes, we have our celery. So looks and probably tastes different than what you're used to in the store. One, it's like crazy tall. Look at that. I store the celery. I keep it stored in these airtight containers, and you'll get the message too that you can just rinse these, dry them, and return them in your bag next week when you drop off or where you pick up at. But the celery stays best in there. What you can do is you can use these greens, smoothies, if you choose fresh juicing, use that. If you make bone broth, use that. If you, what you can even do is just cut the greens off and put them in a bag in the freezer, so when you do go to make a broth or a soup, this can go in there as your base. So you will find that our celery actually has flavor, unlike the grocery store celery tastes like water. So it's amazing. Like all of our products that we grow here actually have so much more flavor. And you will notice that. Another thing you will notice that, and that people stop me all the time and tell me, is the carrots. They're like, this carrot actually tastes sweet. It's so good. They're beautiful, beautiful beautiful spring carrots. These are green top carrots, so feel free to use the greens. You can steep them with a tea, with even a tea with a little fresh lemon. A lot of vitamins in your carrot tops. Don't want to use them today, throw them in your bag with your celery tops, so that way they're there for broth or in use of parsley. People use carrot tops also. If you're gonna juice them or if you make smoothies, the carrot top and the whole carrot can go in. So make sure you're taking advantage of these beautiful, beautiful tops. The next thing you have is a small container of these are watermelon radish florets. So this would be the seed head of the plant, and they are so tender right now. So you can throw these in a salad. They've got some of them have buds that are open. Those are all edible flowers. But once you get into the stem, it's got like a nice spice of a radish plant. So it's really got a kick. We have been snacking on these all day as we packed orders today. So you can eat them raw, throw them in a salad. You could even pan fry them, saute them. And speaking of sauteing, as a little gift from Lucky Dog to start the season off, we always like to give one of our favorite items on the farm is our lard. Everybody thinks, oh, my grandmother used that, but it is so healthy for us. It's a sustainable oil to our area. So I have gotten rid of all of the oils out of my house. I use olive oil for salad dressings. That's because this really probably wouldn't work because it's so solid. But all of my stir frying, all of my roasting, baking, popcorn popping, everything gets lard. And I'll continue as the season goes to share with you how I'm using it, so that way you guys can maybe get some ideas. But anytime I'm sauteing a scoop of this, you store this in your refrigerator. If you don't feel like you'll use it right away, let it thaw, and you can take half out and put half in the freezer and half in your refrigerator. But even chocolate chip cookies, we have replaced the full amount of butter for the full amount of lard. And they're amazing. I even eat the cookie dough raw and cannot taste the difference. So you could do a flash fry of your florets in your lard. So let me know as the year goes on how you're using it. Been listening to a lot of top health advocates lately, and it's amazing how many of them talk about the nutrients in there. And then when you bring in the sustainability on top of that, it's even better. So speaking of sauteing, you will have a couple green garlics in there. So you will get garlic 3 ways during the farm share. The first is the green garlic. This is what the whole row of garlic looks like right now. The next will be a garlic scape, and I'll give more information when those come in. And then the third way, the garlic scape grows out of here, out of the top of the plant. We'll harvest that when that comes in. And then the third way is once this actually forms into a clove of garlic. But right now you can use top to bottom, nose to tail of this green garlic, just as you would garlic in any recipe. So right now I would just start putting some lard in and throwing some celery. I'm hungry apparently. Celery florets. Mix all that, saute it, put it in some lettuce wraps, like a splash of, we use liquid aminos instead of soy sauce, so it'd be really easy. And then you could top it either fresh or sauteed with some of your garlic chives. So these can store safely in the herb container they're in your refrigerator. Chop them up just as you would any herbs or any other vegetable. Again, saute them in butter, throw them on top of mashed potatoes, mix them in sauteed veggies, roasted veggies. Really easy to use and have a really nice mild garlic flavor. The next thing we have, I think maybe the last thing here that we haven't talked about, is our watermelon radishes. So watermelon radishes are a cold weather radish. So you may find, I've eaten a bunch of these today and yesterday. They're yummy. They're so beautiful. It's a surprise inside if you haven't had watermelon radishes. Because they are a winter vegetable and the plant has to keep itself hardy and safe, you might find sometimes that the very outer shell is a little tough. You can either cut that off or peel it. I usually don't. I just slice my radishes thin and throw them on a salad or a veggie tray or with hummus. And I don't find that thick skin on the watermelon radish is a hindrance or burden at all. so fun. Like these roots are crazy and pink and it's great. You could even take the tops of these, the individual leaves, and chop them up and saute them with any of your veggies in your lard, or with in a soup or something like that. So definitely feel free to use any of these. In a refrigerator, you could store this whole thing in an airtight container, or chop off the greens, put those in a baggie or a container to keep those crisp, and then store the radish in an airtight container also. That's going to be the same thing for your carrots. You're going to want to put those in some sort of baggie to keep them fresh. Your romaine lettuce was so big that we couldn't fit it into one of our, I'll call this totes or containers, that we used a compostable bag to put that in. The one problem that I have with these compostable bags is that they are breathable. So if you store your veggies in here, those outside leaves that are touching the bag may get soft within a few days. So I always recommend anything in these bags to then store in an airtight container that you have that fits. So I think that's all of my tips, tricks on storage today. So yeah, we look forward. I'll share this picture, a picture of the farm share on Facebook, and feel free to comment on that with any recipes that you made. Thanks, guys.